Welcome to the fifth Sunday after Epiphany. You are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world, says Jesus the Christ. Amen. Good, better, best. Never let it rest till the good is better and the better is best. That little saying was on the blackboard when I came to school that morning in 6th grade, but it also became the writing task for the day for anyone caught in mischief. The reason I remember that particular quote for the day is that I had to write it 100 times and then hand it in to be examined and then torn up in front of me. Good, better, best. Never let it rest till the good is better and the better is best. My teachers later, in high school, seminary, were Vincentian priests, members of the religious order of St. Vincent de Paul, saint of the poor and the homeless. Under the statue of St. Vincent on campus was a quote from the saint that read, "What does God ask you to do?" And the answer, one word, more. Unfortunately, I heard that answer as your best is never enough. The Lord always wants more from you. And of course, there is always more to be done. But that's not at all what Jesus is saying this morning in the opening words of his Sermon on the Mount. The Sermon on the Mount tends to be heard as a requirement rather than a blessing, as a command rather than a commissioning, as a push to do good, then to do better, then to do our best, and then to do more. But take note, Jesus doesn't say today, if you want to become salt and light, do this. Or, before I will call you salt and light, I need to see this from you. Rather, he says simply and directly here near the beginning of his ministry, before getting to know most of the people he's commending, he says simply, you are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world already, as you are. It is sheer blessing, commendation, affirmation, as well as commissioning, but not a litmus test to qualify you as good enough. Psychologists have compiled statistics about children's self-esteem in relation to the messages they hear. They suggest that for every negative message elementary-age school children hear about themselves, they need to hear 10 positive ones to restore their sense of self-esteem to where it had been before they were negatively labeled. Children often become what they are named. Call a child bad long enough and he or she will accept it as a fact and act accordingly. In the same way, call us good or useful, dependable or helpful, and we will grow into that identity and that behavior as well. So it is not you will be salt and light, you are now salt and light. See yourselves as salt and light and you will grow into that reality more and more each day. Take that message with you into your coming week. Doing good things are not how to earn God's favor. It is because you have God's favor already that doing good things brings joy and makes perfect sense. The words of Isaiah this morning, if you offer your food to the hungry and satisfy the needs of the afflicted, then your light shall rise in the darkness. And those words make more sense in light of the words Jesus said, before you have ever done something good, you are the salt of the earth, you are the light of the world. The Sermon on the Mount is the keynote address of Jesus' preaching, and right here at the beginning of the sermon, he launches into the core of his new teaching, starting from the core of Jewish rabbinical teaching, about which always references the Mosaic law. Jesus lays down the new law. Jesus says, in effect, that the law written on stones is not abolished. Far from it. But it is the stones themselves that are abolished, pulverized, if you will, or better, vaporized, made into something that can be taken in, breathed into one's very being until the law is internalized and becomes love and no longer law. Just exactly how do vaporized commandments work, anyway? Here's an example. The law governing the behavior of the fathers of children versus love governing the behavior of a father. Most fathers may not even be consciously aware nor even concerned about the fact that there are state laws requiring a father to support his children. But if a father decides that the young thing he has met in the office is more appealing than the mother of his children and chooses to run off with the secretary and abandon his family, the law steps up and demands child support, to the point of garnishing the father's wages to make it happen. No father who loves his children needs to know there is such a law, because love does willingly much more than the law does forcibly. And love always does so much more than the minimum requirements of the law. I use that example to explain the heart of Jesus' teaching, love over law, not love without law. The New Testament does not abandon the law of the Torah. It's a matter of going beyond, doing more than, fulfilling, expanding the law. Love that has inwardly digested the law, wholly absorbed, breathed in the law, moves the law to entirely new heights as well as new depths. That's what love does. Always more. Not more as a burden, but more as pure joy. In the best sense, more without guilt about not doing enough. Simply put, law makes giving an obligation, a burden. That's what law does. Love makes giving a joy. The 10 Commandments are vaporized into the Great Commandment. There is nothing in all 613 laws of the Old Testament that is not covered by, "Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, mind, and soul, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself." So now, at least for today, recognize that the preacher of the Sermon on the Mount has told you that you can focus less on striving to move from good to better to best to more, and can instead focus simply on the fact that already you are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world, says Jesus the Christ. Amen.